Happy Thursday, folks. In this video, we're going to be breaking down what occurred on practice. It's the final practice before the Atlanta Falcons game that's taking place tomorrow night. And make sure you are back on here for it. So we're going to be talking about the latest injury news, the latest news, and break down the practice for you. Before we do that, though, we're in a sub-battle against the Cowboys Report, and they're whooping my butt. I've only gained 61 subscribers this week. They gained 180. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and somehow beat the Cowboys Report by subbing in this sub battle. Let's get into the injury news for you really quick. Terrion Arnold will return to practice after the Atlanta Falcons game. So his injury is almost healed up to where he can get back on the field, and that's good for him and his development because we didn't want it to be a long injury. Dan Skipper returned to practice after the Falcons game as well. That's good news because obviously our depth at tackle's been showing bad in camp due to the injuries to Taylor Decker since he hasn't been on the field as much, and same with Dan Skipper with his injury. Ennis Rakestraw, this one could be a while. That one sucks. Broderick Martin, undisclosed injury. We don't know anything of it at this point. So we're going to be talking about also Dan Campbell spoke, and he doesn't know if he's going to be playing Tyleik Williams or Tate Ratledge in this game tomorrow night. And it's the idea of injury versus reps, right? We have two young players that are really good, and we're going to be using them as starters. Tyleik Williams is going to be a starter. Tate Ratledge is going to be a starter. They need reps, but at the same time, do you want to risk injury because they are starters? They're going to be on this team when games count. So it is a double-edged sword here. You give them reps, you do give them the chance to get injured. What do I think? I have no problem getting these guys reps. Why is that? I want them ready for week one. If they get injured, hey, it happens, but they do need the reps. I want this offensive line and this defensive line to be stout come face the Packers. Type TA if you want Terrion Arnold to be healthy this whole season and not have some sort of injury issues this year. Put TA in the comments below. Let's get into the Lions practice notes here. And I tell you what, the first thing here is that the Detroit Lions defense, they dominated the day. And it's been a lot of defense, especially as of late. Says, during the red zone, the Lions offense eventually scored a touchdown, a Khalif Raymond catch in the back of the end zone, but it required a continuation of a drive that was essentially already ended by a fourth down stop and possible bobbling interception from DJ Reed. It was unclear if he was in bounds. Then again, is a situation where Drew is sloppier than the offense. Holding onto the ball to their own 31-yard line with 3 minutes and 41 left, down 14-24 with a timeout left, the offense essentially went 4 and out. After a drop from St. Brown and a couple of short passes, it set up a 4th and 2. Jameson Williams has ran the crossing route and Reed beaten by a couple of steps, but the fourth-year receiver dropped the pass for a turnover on downs. The team kept the drive going, though, for practice purposes, and they were able to dink and dunk their way down the field again. The offense got a little assistance from the coaching staff, allowing play to continue when Aidan Hutchinson and Alex Anzalone picked up that would likely have been an easy sack. Still, thanks to the nice play from Jahmyr Gibbs catching the ball tight from Jack Campbell, they were able to get the ball into the red zone. St. Brown capped the dive with a short touchdown pass in the flats, 1 minute and 21 left. From there, they simulated a 3 and out, giving the ball back to the offense, down 3, 56 seconds, 80 yards, and 0 timeouts. The drive lasted just 2 plays. A batted down pass from Hutchinson and a pick from Avonte Maddox after the ball appeared to deflect high in the air from Jameson Williams. Prior to the practice, Dan Campbell shrugged off the concerns that the defense is ahead of the offense. He said, I think the defense is a handful right now, Campbell said. And then offensively, certainly, we want to be clicking a little bit better. But I also know we're like far away. Every practice you come, it was even the other day, it was like we hold up a better second longer. And this is a 30-yard touchdown. Bad footwork on one play. Gibby spits out of there instead of going 5 yards, where they're about to give 60 for a touchdown. So they're literally close, and it's just that how it works with the offense, especially early. It's one guy here. one guy here, and it's just a little minute details. They're all correctable, and that's what's awesome. Next thing here is we saying so far in the practices, we're seeing a lot of offensive line struggles. And that is a concern because clearly we have the new interior. Frank Ragnow is retired. We got Mahogany and Ratledge and Graham Glasgow. Some of the issues there, though, that we're having on the offensive line, let's keep it a buck, is Giovanni Manu filling in for Dan Skipper, who is also was filling in for Taylor Decker, third string. It was another rough day for Manu with several miscommunications with the left guard, Christian Mahogany, and let a free runner to pressure Jared Goff and some frustration between the two linemen. When asked if he was taking a little bit of leadership role with Manu despite being from the same draft class, Mahogany shut down that talk. It's likely to be Manu out there at left tackle the start of Friday's preseason game. He'll see the offense, same as most of the starters with Hendon Hooker at quarterback, can hold up any better than they did last week's Hall of Fame game. So he's got a lot to come around in regards to Friday because he has got to be he looks to be the starting tackle for the Detroit Lions. And wow, if you want Manu to do good, if you want him to make a team, he needs to do good Friday. He needs to improve. And if it doesn't improve, he's going to have to go at some point. If he's not getting better, if he's not taking the next step. Lions pass rush has been elite, absolute elite in practice, getting pressure on Jared Goff a lot. Now, that's because of the miscommunications that is occurring on the offensive line, and I do think because we have some backups in there. But Aidan, Hutchinson, Tyleek Williams, and Davenport just getting after it. So I think that when we get Taylor Decker in there, I do believe that the offensive line will be better. I do think they will take, obviously, better direction when you have better players on the field. Next here is the Detroit Lions are doing a lot of offensive line shifting, getting back to the offensive line. They're trying to see who's best fit everywhere because this is the deal. You have Michael Neese's backup to Kingsley Aguakin in the third team. Most notably was a small shift in guard rotation. For nearly all of training camp, it's been Nateen Moody and Kayode seeking the 17 guards. However, Wednesday, I saw Tristan Colin get second team look at guard over Moody. Moody started practice with the third team and got sprinkled in the second team eventually, but that's got to be a good sign for Colin after a strong preseason showing the second half center against the Chargers. On to Dan Skipper and Jamarco Jones and Aminu working exclusively with the first teams. Both Mason Miller and Justin Herron had to pull double duty at tackle with both second and third teams. Expect both to be a lock to get a lot of action Friday. It's also possible the Lions play Colby Sorsdale at tackle in preseason, but it's worth noting he only worked at guard on Wednesday. Other note, Tate Ratledge has looked great in practice. Says very strong day for Tate Ratledge, even though it's hard to judge fully without pads on. He did a great job walling off Williams and getting to the second level on Alex Anzalone on one play. Then later practice, he and Penei Sewell perfectly stopped a stunt between Williams and Aidan Hutchinson. Also, Keith Cooper continues to stick out at the right reasons, getting the time on both the interior and edge. Cooper noticed big pass knockdowns on fourth down during the 2-minute drill. Good to see Ratledge look good. Great to see Ratledge out there at guard showing it up. Again, they just need continuity. We don't have Taylor Decker in there, and that's definitely hurting the offensive line so far in training camp. More continuity, better, and that's all it needs, right? We just need these guys to start gelling. We got 30 days until week 1, 30 days until we face the Green Bay Packers, and they got some time to start gelling. They got a time to really get together, and I think it will happen when Taylor Decker returns. That will really start to turn the offensive line. Giovanni Manu is hurting. The injuries are hurting the production, I feel, on the offensive line right now. That's the way that I see it. And maybe you'll help me win this sub battle because of going against the Cowboys report. They got 180 this week, and I got 61. I got a long ways to go. But if you want to do it, you can do it. Big day for Friday. Again, as we know, Hendon Hooker is going to start the game on Friday. He is going to be the first quarterback. Kyle Allen will be the second quarterback, so he'll get the first half. So we can judge how the offense plays with him. But we definitely got to be watching that offensive line from the left side, from all over there, to see how much pressure is heading. And if Ratledge and Tyleik Williams do play in this game, we have a lot to watch on what they're going to do. The young rookies, we haven't seen them yet. We got to see how well they perform. And I think they're going to perform perfectly fine. I'm not too worried about it, but that is something, if they're out there, we get to at least watch, something to look forward to versus the Atlanta Falcons. We want something to look forward to, just a something, right? And that could be something to look forward to, see what Tate Ratledge and Tyleik Williams are doing. And that's cool. That's cool. Hopefully that our team looks a little bit smoother on Friday. You want to see positive corrections that's taking place. So want to see better smooth from the offense and defense. Want to see some smoothness. That's what I'm watching for. Hopefully we get no injuries. None of that. We don't need any sort of injuries. That is a bad thing for both teams. See how the rookies are doing. See the progression of some of these players, or second or third year players and the Broderick Martins of the world, how these guys are going to perform. I'll be doing a breakdown video, what we need to be watching for the game tomorrow night. So I'll probably drop that a little bit later today. So get ready for that. With that said, folks, adios.